Hey, what's up my brothers? This is Enemy Stand User and today we're going into my review for chapter 189 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and what a freaking banger. I honestly cannot describe the absolute hype Hakari and Kashimo bring to the table in their fight. Hakari is a dog, Kashimo is just a honey badger, and neither of them are letting up. I really like how Gege portrays this fight and just how brutally raw their abilities are, as even their own powers have limitations and drawbacks that really turn the tide of battle. However, Gege uses the environment and everything the fighters can utilize to their advantage. The chapter just had some big brain plays, and the fever, the hype is not slowing down at all, even considering how he left things off from last week. This fight is for sure one of my favorites in the whole series, definitely in the Cohen games. And it looks like we're going to keep at it till either side collapses. This chapter is so hype, so let's dive into it with chapter 189, Tokyo Colony number 2, part 8. Alright, we begin the chapter inside of Hakari's domain, and things are looking pretty rough for him as he has a hole blown open in his torso, yet he's still trying his best to keep it together. Kashimo thinks the fight is over as he stares Hakari down and comments that this time around, Hakari is in time reduction mode Jitan, so he wouldn't get that fast jackpot like he did before. Even in this faster spins mode, hitting a jackpot is still a 1 in a 239 chance, so things are looking really bleak as Hakari falls to the ground in defeat. However, Hakari gets back in action as he lands an instant jackpot, and his wound starts to heal with automatic reverse curse and his music starting and everything. And this surprises Kashimo as he thinks this is sort of like a hidden surprise jackpot in time reduction mode. But this mode is actually still in probability change, and Hakari got his instant jackpot. And it's really crazy as Hakari never showed any of his abilities, no previews, no any sort of attack like that at all. He just got his jackpot immediately. I know when Hakari gets a 4th try in the fan scan, if he get a 4th try, it said he'd get an instant jackpot, or if he had a rainbow ball, he'd get a jackpot. But I think in the official, it was referring to the 4 consecutive effects being those pseudo spin multipliers. So Hakari landing this jackpot in this mode is seriously lucky, and even Kashimo understands Hakari's skill truly lies in his luck. And again, this level of reverse curse is so insane. He heals instantly. It's so instant, it almost seems like how cursed spirits heal fast, like some monster. Hakari then readies himself as now he is good as new, and he actually compliments Kashimo for pushing him this far. He says his head's full of manga now as he rambles about manga and his previous opponent Charles. Then Hakari uses a hidden hand as his domain realm is starting to shift and the barriers start to break, and Hakari literally moved and placed his barrier over the ocean at the coast of the shipyard. And this is a very surprising turn and a very big brain play because Kashimo cannot control his cursed energy when it's in the water. The current would just keep spreading without stopping. So when his electric cursed energy is activated, it won't stop till he's out of cursed energy, or he could choose to stop his cursed energy altogether and try to get back to dry land. But as they're falling, Kashimo mentions that in this colony, the ocean acts as a barrier. So there's a sort of out of bounds limit, you could say, and this limit activates an event where curses emerge from the sea and attack anyone attempting to leave. I imagine there are still barriers, but this sort of ocean acts as a sort of out of bounds sort of thing. But this makes for an epic, dynamic battleground as both fighters literally have to watch their footing and fight each other while fighting on top of the curses too. But as they battle the curses and jump around from one another, Hakari goes in and decides to attack Kashimo, kicking him into the water, and Hakari saves himself by grabbing onto a stray flying curse. Kashimo is now in the water, and because he had to defend against Hakari's kick with cursed energy, His cursed energy is now on and quickly starting to give out and surge throughout the water. Things are now at a stalemate as Kashimo is running out of options inside of the water. He's trying to suppress his cursed energy output, but it's still leaking into the ocean. However, Kashimo reveals a new factor as now the ocean starts to heat up and bubble, causing a sort of gas irritant to leak out, causing Hakari to lose control and pass out because of the gas. This gas was created when Kashimo suppressed his cursed energy and uses electricity to create a process called electrolysis. When electricity passes through water, it splits into other substances. Water, H2O, splits into oxygen gas and hydrogen gas, while a substance like salt, sodium chloride, turns into chlorine gas. We are in salt water in the ocean, so that will really make sense what will happen with someone like Kashimo's cursed energy electric ability. So now this poison gas is leaking out because of Kashimo and killing Hakari. Kashimo mentions there are multiple ways to kill a reverse curse user, like you could take out their brain in one single hit, or you could use complicated attacks like poison. Unlike healing one's flesh or regenerating body parts, to drive out a foreign substance like poison requires a higher level of reverse curse technique. We have a couple examples with Uraume's moment against Chozo's blood manipulation poison and how they couldn't defend against that poison, and Gojo's infinity might have a problem breaking down complicated techniques like poison objects. Well, at least back when Gojo first got reverse curse and trained it to keep infinity on. Back to the main chapter though, it looks like Gege had the science counselor from Dr. Stone from that manga team to fact check this event, Kurere, so go science I guess. Gege gets 10 billion points I guess, but back to the chapter, Hakari couldn't heal his body in time to defend against the poison, so he got knocked out. But his immortality is still running even when his body is passed out. However, yet again, it looks like it's over, but it's not, as Hakari bounces back as his reverse curse is fully automatic and it's unconditional. He is immortal after all, and his body was even able to drive back poison from within it. Another factor in this fight was kind of small, but the water was getting hotter and hotter, almost boiling at this point, as it burns both Hakari and Kashimo equally. Because of inside and outside exterior conditions with the water hot, with the electricity, Hakari debates on expanding his domain again now that only 5 seconds are left in this immortal state. Instead of using a domain expansion though, Hakari decides to take a risk and use his 5 seconds to attack Kashimo and do as much damage as possible. So now both fighters are amped up, and we end the chapter off with Kashimo initiating a massive explosion in an epic cliffhanger. Yeah, this chapter was pretty wicked, and I'm surprised just how lucky Hakari is to be able to last this long and to be able to fight this hard. This fight is really outstanding. In the last panel, we kind of get a hint that Kashimo pulled off some big move within the 5 seconds or even less than 5 seconds. So Hakari might not even get another chance to pull a domain off, or he could get critically hurt again. But I'm very impressed by Kashimo's tenacity, both Kashimo and Hakari's tenacity, but with Kashimo's sheer know-how and skill as a sorcerer. Kashimo was very quick thinking, and he made a disadvantage into a advantage. And I think that that last explosion was actually like a chemical reaction when he split the hydrogen and oxygen gas, then heated it up with his cursed energy, causing that violent explosion. It'd be pretty cool if Gege implemented that science in some way. And the water is basically boiling at this point, so it would sort of make sense. But this fight goes hard. Both of them are gambling their lives, and they experience repercussions from their abilities. But I just love how just raw, it's just raw how Gege is portraying this fight and starting to make this fight, and just how practical both opponents use their environment. It seriously takes this fight to the next level, and seeing them battle over the ocean using curses as footing and just taking advantage of the situation is peak. I know it's very, very coincidental that Hakari just keeps bouncing back from his injuries, but the way Gege portrays this clash is so incredibly epic. What I like most about this fight is that I really don't know what's going to happen next, and I think it's incredible. It's insane the way Gege subverts our expectations. It's like Gege literally split the community into Team Hakari versus Team Kashimo, Gambler versus God, and Gege wanted this. It's so interesting to see how the community is, just to see how just y'all brothers and how y'all make y'all predictions. It's awesome. Gege definitely got us fans acting up and feeling that fever, feeling all types of ways, because this battle is absolutely peak. As much as I do really want both fighters to make it out of this, but I do lean a little bit more towards Kashimo. Even if no deaths happen, I lean more towards Kashimo because of portrayal and just how much Kashimo is unfazed and actually is looking really, really clean this fight. And I want some sort of payoff to happen with Sukuna, or something to happen with Kashimo. I think there's really a lot that could happen with both characters, but Kashimo taking these hits, he's giving them back tenfold, but Hakari is just our guy. No matter what happens, Hakari bounces back, he turns up the music, and I'm just so impressed with the level of hype Gege is giving both characters. Gege is giving this battle, and I'm really excited to see just what the next chapter brings, as unfortunately next week is a break, but this is really peak and it's really awesome to see. And thank y'all for watching and checking out this video. Gege is really going crazy right now, and the coin games are just a wild ride. But my next video has been a bit on the back burner. I was having kind of like a hard time brainstorming and putting together and going over this video, going over what it means to be a special grade rank in JJK, but I'll be sure to have a couple more videos out this week for y'all. But this has been Enemy Stand User, and I'll see you awesome brothers in the next one. Bye bye.